6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister says the government is developing powers at grassroots level, rather devolving powers at the grassroots level to build new Pakistan by empowering the local populace. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting has urged the opposition to join hands with the government to expose the Indian human rights violations in occupied Kashmir. The National Commission for Human Development has established 100 madrasa schools in the country under the Madrasa School Project. A group of American lawmakers has expressed grave concern over the situation in occupied Kashmir. In occupied Kashmir, an average 20 protest demonstrations are being held daily despite curfew and other restrictions. In Afghanistan, 38 Taliban have been killed in joint airstrikes by the American and Afghan forces in northern and western regions of the country. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan says the country is heading in the right direction and the people would soon see the difference. In an interview with Al Jazeera television, he said after completion of 5 years, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government would leave behind a surplus economy and it would be the last International Monetary Fund package for the country. To a query, the Prime Minister said IMF has not dictated anything which is against Pakistan's sovereignty. Imran Khan said Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government has introduced a new Pakistan in which the rule of law is supreme. He said there is no precedent in the country's history to put the mega corrupt elements into jails like it happened now. He said the government is devolving powers at the local levels to empower the local populace. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan, has urged all the opposition parties to join hands with the government to expose the Indian human rights violations in occupied Kashmir across the globe. Talking to a private news channel today, she said the present government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Imran Khan, is highlighting at the international fora that the Indian narrative on Kashmir is wrong. Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan said the government is utilizing all channels to sensitize the world about the importance of resolution of Kashmir dispute as it might become a nuclear flashpoint between Pakistan and India. She said due to effective foreign policy, the Kashmir issue has been discussed by the United Nations Security Council after decades, while the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the European Union have also expressed concern over human rights violations in the Indian-occupied Kashmir. The Special Assistant said world powers like Russia and China are supporting Pakistan's stance on the Kashmir issue. The government is aggressively pursuing international gas pipeline projects to meet the energy needs of the country. A press release issued by the Ministry of Energy in Islamabad today said Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India gas pipeline project and North-South gas pipeline project are clear illustrations of such efforts. It said TAPI project has achieved substantial progress during the current year. The heads of terms of the host government agreement have been signed with the TAPI project company to enable it start construction work in Pakistan. The groundbreaking ceremony for Pakistan's segment of the project is expected to be held shortly. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on National Health Services Regulations and Coordination, Dr. Zafar Mirza, says the government is bringing revolutionary changes in the health sector to provide quality healthcare services to the general public. Addressing a conference in Islamabad today, he said ensuring universal health coverage is the vision of Prime Minister Imran Khan in order to provide essential and quality healthcare facilities to the people according to their needs. Dr. Zafar Mirza said investing in the primary healthcare system is of vital importance to achieve the goals of universal healthcare. He said the government is fully focused to strengthen the primary healthcare system in this regard. Prime Minister's Special Assistant for Overseas Pakistanis Zulfi Bukhari has urged American-based Muslim organizations to stand in solidarity with the Kashmiri people who are suffering under a repressive military lockdown imposed by the fascist Modi regime. Speaking during a meeting with leaders of several organizations representing American Muslims from all over the world, he said with India's August 5th action to annex occupied Kashmir, the long drawn-out struggle of the Kashmiri people for their United Nations pledged inalienable right to self-determination has entered a crucial phase. Poverty Alleviation and Social Safety Division would facilitate 6 million women under Kifalat program. According to details, the program would focus on crucial sectors including health, education, employment, and economic empowerment of poor women. This is Radio Pakistan. The National Commission for Human Development has established 100 madrasa schools in various parts of the country under Madrasa School Project. An official of the commission told APP today that these schools would provide formal education to madrasa students in Islamabad, newly merged tribal districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Azad Kashmir to bring them in the mainstream. He said currently 2,408 students are benefiting from this project. A group of American lawmakers have expressed grave concern over the situation in occupied Kashmir, urging Indian government to restore communications and allow media to access the territory. American congressmen, in a letter to the American envoys in New Delhi and Islamabad, urged them to facilitate connections between Kashmiri Americans and their family members in Jammu and Kashmir. Signatories to the letter include the lawmakers Ilhan Umar, Raul M. Grijalba, Andy Levin, James P. McGovern, Ted Lieu, Donald Baer, and Alan Lonthal. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian police, during continuing acts of state terrorism, martyred a civilian in custody in Jammu city today. The victim, Akhlaq Ahmed Khan, was arrested and killed in custody by the police at Janipur police station of the city. The family members and relatives demanded that the police personnel who were behind brutal murder should be arrested and given an exemplary punishment. Occupied Kashmir has seen an average of nearly 20 protests per day against Indian occupation over the past 6 weeks, despite military siege to quell unrest. An international news agency quoting a government official reported that despite curfew, movement restrictions, and severe curtailment of internet and mobile phone services, public demonstrations against India are constantly being held, mostly in the largest city, Srinagar. The official said altogether there have been 722 protests since August 5th, with Baramulla district in the northwest and Pulwama in the south the biggest hotspots after Srinagar. It says since that date, nearly 200 civilians and 415 forces personnel have been hurt. 95 of the civilians were injured in the last 2 weeks. In Afghanistan, 2 Taliban governors designate along with 38 fighters were killed in U.S.-Afghan joint airstrikes conducted in northern and western regions of the country. The Defense Ministry, in a statement, said the Taliban's designate governor for northern Samangan province, Maulvi Nuruddin, was killed along with 4 fighters in an airstrike in Darra-e-Suf Payin district. In a separate incident, Mullah Sayyid Azim, a Taliban designate governor for Anar Dara district in western Farah, was killed in a joint Afghan and foreign forces raid. Mohibullah Mohib, a spokesman for Farah Provincial Police, said Sayyid Azim was killed along with 34 other insurgents in Anar Dara. Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid, in a statement, rejected the claim of Afghan forces, saying that Nuruddin is alive. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged all governments to respect the right to active, substantive, and meaningful participation. In his message on International Day of Democracy, he urged all governments to respect the right to active, substantive, and meaningful participation. He appreciated all those who strive tirelessly to make this happen. He said at heart, democracy is about people and it is built on inclusion, equal treatment, and participation. He said democracy is a fundamental building block for peace, sustainable development, and human rights. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and humid weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. Rain, wind, thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Malakan, Hazara, Mardan, Peshawar, Kohat, Bannu, Rawalpindi, Gujranwala, Lahore, Sargodha divisions, Islamabad, Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.